Hello YouTubers, today we are cutting a piece of rectangular duct. You have the duct fabricated to whatever width and depth that you want, and then this comes in 4-foot lengths from the duct factory. This came from our friends at Royce Company in Raleigh. They also have a branch in Wilmington. In your city you'll probably also find a duct fabrication company. So you measure the duct from ½ an inch shorter than the duct starts out. It should come with a funky little cut on the end already. So I've measured this. This has to be 22.5 inches long total. It needed to be 22 inches for the span of the duct, so I had ½ an inch to it. I then marked it with this square. So I've got a black line here that I've done with a Sharpie. And I have a pair of aviation snips. These are the yellow ones from Wiss, and the yellow ones are for straight cutting. First thing you have to do is get through this thick seam on the edge. This thick seam is how you're going to snap the two duct pieces together. This was one half of the rectangle, and an exact same piece will be the other half of the rectangle. I've already cut that one. So the first thing I got to do is get through this thick edge seam, and I do that by starting to squeeze a little and then sliding the snips in further and going a little further, and finally it cuts through. That's probably the hardest part. Again, these are the yellows. They're the straights for cutting straight up this bad boy. Now when you start to cut, you're going to be looking at the tip of the snips and keeping that on the black Sharpie line here. So I've just cut through. Now I'm going to use I want to be really careful because that's sharper than shit right there. So I'm going to use my elbow and my hand to pull this edge down and this edge up to get around the duct bill of the snips. So probably can't see too much when I do this, but let's see if we can get in here a little bit and get started. I'm watching the tip of the snips. If the tip of the snips is on the black line, when I squeeze, the rest of the snips will follow. So that's what you're doing. So here we are, tip of the snips is right on the black line. As I squeeze, it'll drop right into the black line. So again, elbow on the pushing down on one, thumb pulling up on the other. It's a benefit of having these opposable thumbs. I go right up to the corner of the duct. So that's all cut right there. I'm going to flip this around. We're going to snip this hem back right here. This side is going to get bent up a little bit when I use my snips. That's okay. This stuff is really malleable stuff, so we can always put it back. So here we go. This is hitting the snips right there, so I'm going to have to peel that up pretty far. Again, just like before, elbow holding down the right, thumb pulling up on the left. Get a nice big bite, put the tip of the snips on the black line, and cut away. Really good YouTube folks would fast forward this part because it's boring. I'm not that good. I'm just going to publish it as is. Hey, what do you want for free? You probably won't even have to watch an ad if I know how YouTube works. So I just went up to the corner. There it comes apart. We're not done yet though. So now we've got the cut, but you've got to get the notches. So the same notches that they had here, here, and here have to be duplicated on this end so you can do all the cleats, which I think we'll do on another video. Alright, so I'm going to do another one where I get this seam. So you'll see me pinch it, come in a little farther, pinch it again, come in as far as I can, give it a squeeze right till, see, and I went too far, but that's okay. Then we come down here and we cut that piece off. We're going to come over here and cut this corner off. So that's got to come off right here. Neatness counts, but you are going to be using mastic, or if you can also use tape to seal these up when you're done. So neatness counts, but it's not the end of the world if you go a little too far. Here again, we're going to cut a little V-notch. We're going to come in this side, cut a little V-notch. It's easy to go crazy and cut a massive corner out of here. You really don't need that. This is just so the drive clip, when we fasten the ducts together, can work. So that's that one. That's finished. Let's compare that to one of the factory cuts. We aren't going to do exactly as they did. We just can't. Here before they cut in this hem right here, they had before they bent in the hem, rather, they had cut that chunk out. So that was done all automatically on a machine. We just chopped the whole corner out. But this pretty much is the same. And this side is pretty much the same. They have this little jaggy thing here, and that's fine, but we don't need that. So that's it for cutting a piece of duct.